You know, I think the Fish and Wildlife Services for each individual and respective states are doing it. And I know we're trying to work with them as best as we can, you know, to facilitate. The major contractor is Tri-State, who has also engaged International Bird Rescue and Research Center, and that's located over in Hammond, Louisiana. And Jay Holcomb's the executive director over there. They're doing a lot of what we're helping is in Louisiana specifically is the transfer and transport of the oiled birds to that facility in Hammond, where then the professionals and paraprofessionals, if you will, are the trained people are kind of taking over the cleaning of the birds. Audubon's role in that really is kind of a facilitator. We're not you know, cleaning the birds and holding the birds, but we're playing an integral role into what's going on with that whole process. It's something to see. You know, it really is. We've all seen the images through you know, national and local media. While those images are hard to shake, I mean, even if you don't really have any direct involvement with it or don't know a whole lot about the bird population and what's going on down here, I think, you know, anybody that sees those knows that that's something that just shouldn't be happening, and so I think that really has motivated a lot of people to try to get involved. But there are a lot of organizations, both NGO as well as governmental, that have been, you know, working to try to make this right and do the best by, you know, the ecology and the ecosystems and things like that, you know, that are trying to really make a difference.
For those folks who are not from the area, I would say to you, if you can come down and afford to come down, come support our economy. That's what we need more than anything, is people to come stay in our hotels on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, gamble in our casinos, and shop at our shops, because our economy is very dependent on tourism in this region, and for many good reasons, because the beauty of our ecosystem and our beaches, and also because the entertainment value that we have in the area. So come down and vacation here. That's one very tangible way you can do something to directly impact the area affected by the oil spill. But also, as far as wildlife goes, and specifically birds, birds are migratory species. So the same birds that were in Minnesota 2 weeks ago are flying down the Mississippi River and will soon be in Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama region. And in fact, more than 45% of our migratory bird species fly directly down the Mississippi River in what's called the Mississippi Flyway. And so these same birds that are in your backyard in Minnesota, Missouri, wherever, will one day come through here. So building habitat and making sure that these animals have plenty to eat, so that when they do encounter this oil, hopefully they'll be able to recognize that this isn't a good place for me, there's no food for me here, and they will keep flying south to South America. And that's our greatest hope. And no one can say scientifically that it'll work. But it's the only shot we got, is to get these birds nice, plump, fat, and happy, so that once they come here and they encounter the oil and the stress that creates for them, not having food or habitat, that hopefully they'll go a little bit north and feed up and get plump and then fly south. So creating habitat in your own backyard, in your community gardens, creating habitat, going to your local wildlife refuge and helping them with projects there, can all directly be tied into the oil spill, because these bird species aren't stationary, they're not sedentary, they are migratory. So it's important to think about that and think about really creating habitat for them so that they can be healthy, so that when they do encounter this stress, that they will be healthy enough to deal with it and fly to South America and do the thing that they've been doing for millions of years.
The best way that I would say is wherever you are, at least as far as Audubon, National Audubon Society, seek out and reach out your local chapters, state and or local facilities, and they can help you find ways that you can get engaged. You don't need to be an expert birder. There are people that are involved with that can really kind of help bring you along. There are classes that can be taken that can really help you if you really so desire to learn and be able to identify them. National Audubon Society, our website, just audubon.org, or another one is audubonaction.org. That details some specific ways that people can sign up and get involved. I'd recommend visiting those, and I think there's some other links that are involved with that. But just kind of do a little independent research and be prepared, to come down and do what you can. I guess I would say also stay engaged. Volunteers and people throughout the United States, just because perhaps it's not as prevalent and on the front line headlines now, just stay engaged and don't forget about it. I think that's going to be one of the challenges that will go going forward, that we can possibly expect, is as media attention wanes, that the public attention may fall in line with that. And I don't think that'll happen with a lot of the Audubon members and the volunteers that have already reached out, and just know that this is something that we're going to be doing for a while. So I guess really on behalf of Audubon, I would like to say thank you to everybody that's had any connection with this, and just we really appreciate your concern and offer and willingness to help.